After months of training, a new batch of rookie cops has hit the streets to learn on the job.
I've been pushed out of my comfort zone. You go out there and people look at you, they haven't got a clue. They look at the uniform and assume that you know exactly what you're doing.
I look at that badge and I think, oh, I'm actually doing it. It's not pretend.
I absolutely love doing the job. It's addictive. The chase, the buzz, going into the unknown. There's no other job like it.
It is strange thinking I'm in charge. And really, I haven't had that much life experience. I think being a young lad, I've still got a long way to go yet, but you've got to step up to the mark. You've got to be responsible. Do you know what my problem is? I think I've got my head up my arse half the time. My head's in the clouds.
No, it's definitely up your arse.
Rookie Jack is spending his first 3 months partnered with Andy, an officer with 8 years' experience. They're stationed in Boston, but have to patrol a vast area, which means they spend a lot of time together on the road.
What do you want to see more of?
I'd personally like to see you being more of a cop, out on the streets, spotting stuff, looking around at people, being suspicious. That's normally what people join the job for, to go out and catch criminals.
Right. What do you think I've joined the job for?
I don't know, you've not told me, so...
Speak to people.
That doesn't catch bad guys, is it? And ultimately, that's what we're here to do, isn't it?
It's
we're to prevent
part
crime.
of what we're here to do.
It's a large part of what we're here to do.
Yeah.
Jack seems to question everything. I understand that deep down it's because Jack wants to learn, but I can see how some people may see that as being a little bit argumentative.
Because I wanted to prove myself to Andy, I'm thinking, right, I'm going to stop somebody today. So I'm really looking out, but I'm not just going to stop anybody because I don't want to do that. I want to stop somebody that's suspicious, so it's about really switching my eyes on, my police eyes, and looking out.
Jack has only 1 hour left on his shift. So far, he hasn't made any arrests.
What are they doing? We happened to be driving down this side street and I saw this couple and it looked like they were exchanging possibly drugs or something. It looked very suspicious anyway. Hi. As we came round the corner, you looked quite sheepish at us.
I looked at a car, police car.
Yeah, and you got your hands in your pockets. Have you got anything on you at all?
Cold.
How you're behaving now is making me think that you've perhaps got something on you.
Oh dear.
Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to stop and search you. Right, if you can just get your hands out of your pockets and I'll search them, thank you.
Have you been in trouble with the police?
No.
For anything before?
No.
Neither of you?
No. And it's
Is this the first time this has happened to you?
Yeah.
I gave Jack some feedback about his proactive policing. Within 5 minutes, he'd wanted to stop somebody and stop search them. I don't know if that's quite what I was looking for.
I'm just going to search your pockets, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Just got these, yeah. Right, OK, that's fine. That's fine. All right, thank you. OK.
A thorough search of Jack's suspects turns up nothing.
He's got a proper attitude, he had.
Yeah.
I turned around and said to him, didn't ask for your attitude, I asked for your address.
What did you notice about those two then that made you want to turn round?
Well, they sort of moved closer together, and it just looks a bit weird.
But you didn't find out though, did you?
No.
So you just stopped two innocent members of the public. Well done, Jack. You are a bully. Well done. I suppose as a member of the public, if you're not doing anything wrong and you do get stop searched, I can imagine how that probably feels and why somebody might be defensive.
I think what my problem is a confidence thing. I might come across as quite confident, but I don't want other people to know that I'm not too sure about how to deal with things. And that's not just members of the public, that's everybody.
In Skegness, rookie Dan started working as a new police officer a couple of days ago.
can tell the new boy, look, getting some shine on here.
This evening is his first night shift.
I'm putting this on now, polishing my boots. I'm going to walk out that door and I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Is it going to be busy? Is it going to be quiet?
You hit that blue light, you're like Moses parting the sea.
Eventually, Dan will graduate to policing the streets alone. But for now, he's partnered with Carl. Although he's an experienced officer, this is his first time teamed up with a rookie.
30 years ago, people would join at 18.
Yeah.
Now, you don't find many police officers below 20 at the minimum.
I'm 30, I'm still young, but I've got a lot more life. Can't tell from my hair, my receding hair. But I'm 30.
Look.
I'd rather have the receding hair, little hair, than a massive jaw though.
Oh.
They're on their way to visit a couple Carl knows well. The rookies are discovering they get called out to the same people again and again. This couple has a history of domestic violence.
These two, we have numerous dealings with them. On this occasion, he is just literally ringing her up saying, I love you, I want to get back with you. And my advice is going to be, or your advice is going to be, to change the number tomorrow.
Hello?
Hey up, Debbie.
What?
It's police.
You rang us, Debbie.
What?
Are you going to sit up?
Debbie?
Debbie.
Debbie knows the police so well that she's quite happy to greet them from under her duvet.
Let's have a quick chat.
Does that little heater next to you not work?
No.
It's freezing in here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you got your coat on.
You don't
To my face. It's a birthmark. It's been there since I was born, yeah.
A lot of people you find don't say anything, they skirt around a subject. It's quite refreshing when people just ask you, what is it?
I wish I could give you a really exciting story.
Well, tell me.
I wish it was like rescuing somebody from a house fire or abducted by aliens or something like that, but it's not, it's boring, it's a birthmark.
I was prepared for it. I'm signing up to this job, I'm going to get abused. People are going to call me all the names under the sun. That is prominent on my face.
I know it's a pain in the neck and you may say I shouldn't need to do it, but for an easier life, get that number changed.
Yeah, will do.
And hopefully it'll help. All right? See you later.
Dan Hunt isn't the only rookie in Skegness. Dan Healy just moved here from Rochdale.
It's been hard uprooting my life in order to achieve my dream job. You know, I've had to move away.
Dan moved into his new flat a month ago, but it's taking time to settle in.
This is the living room. Obviously, you can see it's quite empty at the minute, but I'm going to be looking at getting a sofa this week. That's my housemate's room. We won't go in there 'cause it's like a man cave. Don't even know what's alive in there. This is a spare bedroom. This will eventually have bunk beds in here for my children.
I love my daddy.
I became a dad at an early age, early 20s, you know. Some people would say it's too young.
Dan's daughters, aged 4 and 8, live with their mother back home 3 hours away.
Probably been about 15 months since separated from the mum. It was a mutual agreement. It wasn't a mutual agreement, but... It's hard being away from him. I speak to him every day. I see him on my days off, spend all my days off with him, but yeah, it's hard. You know, it's a sacrifice I've got to make. I want to make my girls proud, and that's the biggest thing you've got. As long as my girls are proud of me, that's what keeps me going at the end of the day.
Dan's been partnered with Mick, a former sergeant in the military police, who hasn't failed to notice Dan's slightly unconventional appearance.
Dan looked different to a lot of the officers that you get. He does have tattoos, which is something that we don't come across very often.
What's said out?
What?
About my appearance?
No, nobody will say anything because it's acceptable. When I started, only 5 years ago, tattoos were a big no-no, you know. A few years' time, I'm sure pink Mohicans with shaved sides of the heads will be acceptable. Not offending you anyway, am I?
It's Dan's first night shift. They've been called to Louth, usually a sleepy market town, but not tonight.
Listen, he's drunk, he needs to go home, all right? Take him home or put him in a
With Christmas just around the corner, hundreds of people have flocked into town to party.
You all right, guys? How you doing?
All right, guys.
This is the first time as a police officer that Dan will have to confront a potentially hostile public.
Well, I'm not from Yorkshire, I'm from Manchester, but...
From Manchester?
Public order's adrenaline fuelled. You've got to be on your ball because you're surrounded by drunks on a night out.
What we'll do, there's another pub down here. We'll just have a walk around and we'll just do a lap of the block.
That was my first night shift with Mick, and he didn't know me too well, so he was like, do not leave my side, stay with me.
Experienced Officer Mick knows that the atmosphere can turn violent in an instant.
Yeah. Start walking.
Just last week, the police had to use a taser on a local here.
Can we have some assistance, Samuels, please?
Stay down! Stay down!
Mick was wrestling with a guy on the floor.
No! Stay down! No, stay down!
And then the door staff are asking for help because they was having problems with somebody else.
No! No!
You're a police officer stood there in uniform. You can't just stand there and watch and say, I'm sorry, I can't come and help. You've got to go and help. It's your job at the end of the day. They don't know you're on your first night shift.
Stay down!
You all right with him? Listen, fella, stand up. Stand up. Walk over here.
I'll get up and I'll go away.
You're going to stay around there, yeah, and just leave around there, or you don't want to get locked up, do you?
One of the most important rules in policing is never to turn your back on your partner. A rule Dan is now breaking.
Walk away now! Walk away!
No, I'm not listening to it. Right, I'm not listening to you because you pissed me. I'm dealing with my call.
He kind of wandered off from me. On a street, you don't know what's around the next corner, so you need to really keep visual contact.
You come back this way, you'll be getting locked up. Come back this way, you'll be getting locked up, so go that way.
Don't come back near the pub anymore.
If it's kicking off, if there is problems, you need to be able to see that person.
No, it was a couple of blokes kicking off with the band, so they kicked him out.
Backup has now arrived, and the situation is under control.
Sorry, mate, I didn't realise.
You just got to watch where the other officer is at all times, right? OK?
No, I thought you was behind me. Obviously, when you make mistakes in the job, you know, you're not happy about it.
But Dan's not the only rookie learning from their mistakes. Julia's about to experience a baptism of fire in the drug world.
Police, open the door! I had no idea what drugs look like. Oh, this is heroin, is it? All right, OK. You smelt the bacon?
45-year-old mum, Julia, just gave up a career as a driving instructor to fulfil her lifelong dream of becoming a police officer.
Being one of the older ones, I was wondering if I was going to manage to sort of keep up with them and take on board so much learning. I'm not as worried as I was when I first started. It's all starting to slot into place now. Do you want to flick the blues on? We'll just check the back ones.
Yeah.
Yep, they're definitely on.
Julia has 6 weeks left with experienced officer Pete before she starts policing on her own. Their shifts have been relatively uneventful until tonight.
The Kilo Romeo 179 is being deployed to the following address, please.
They've just been called to help a man named Joaquim, who says he's been attacked by his friend.
I want that man out of my house, yeah? He punched me one time, the glass is gone. See the frame you're ready?
Police, open the door!
Yeah?
It's all right.
But Joaquin's friend is nowhere to be found.
Are you sure you've not seen him leave at all, have you?
No.
Can you come down to the police station and we get a statement from you?
Yeah.
Taking accurate statements and being able to analyse them is a crucial part of the job.
We'll get it sorted, all right?
But this is the area Julia's least confident about, especially when there are drugs involved.
So it's about sort of 2 months ago, he started to get paranoid, yeah?
Because he's a smackhead.
Right, he's taking drugs, is he?
He's a smackhead.
Yeah. What sort of drugs is he taking then?
Heroin and
yeah.
Have you ever taken drugs before?
Alcohol and tobacco, that's it. I had never, ever come across anything to the point of sort of somebody would say to me, oh, do you know what cannabis smells like? Before I started doing this job, I had absolutely no idea. Do you want me to read it out to you?
If you don't mind,
Yeah,
please.
not a problem. He fell asleep at about 10 a.m. A man came round and he split a bag into two and told me to give the other half to...
Julia's lack of knowledge of the drug world means she's missed a crucial revelation in Joaquin's statement.
How it reads is, technically, he has admitted to drug dealing in his own statement.
We were having an argument about the amount of heroin that was in the syringe, and he was saying I was lying about it all.
I'm not sure if Julia has clocked the fact he's admitted to this as yet.
He kept saying I was pissing him off.
How do you think that statement went? Have you picked up on anything he's admitted to doing? Have you got the statement on you?
Yeah, go on. What have I...
He's split a bag into two and told me to give the other half.
Possession.
Is it just possession?
Supply.
Yeah.
Because he's gone... yes, so we're talking about... Yeah.
Did you...
It was racking my head about, hang on a second, there's all to do with heroin and everything else. Where's this going? It started to dawn on me that, yes, it was because he'd been given it and then he gave it to someone else. So it's like, oh yeah. Bit of a light bulb moment that was when talking to Pete.
Although he technically admitted to drug dealing, Julia and Pete are more concerned with catching the friend who allegedly attacked him. It's New Year's Eve. All the rookies are on duty tonight. But for Jack in Boston, working during the festive season takes some getting used to.
I keep getting messages from all my friends before I came to work. They were all out at parties, wishing I was there. But obviously, some people have got to work, and I'm one of those people this year.
Happy New Year. We need a selfie. I know, we didn't start well. You too.
Dan is also busy policing the streets of Skegness.
There you go.
But not all the officers are enjoying themselves.
Because they put it on, everyone...
It came over the radio. Somebody pressed their red button, which you have on top of your radio. It's like an emergency button. And it was my colleague, Ellie. You get like an alarm go off in your ear.
Where's our colleagues in there?
And you just hope they're not getting their head kicked in.
A female officer has been dragged to the floor in a busy pub. She would only press her emergency button if she was in serious danger. Dan and his colleagues from all over the area drop everything to come to her rescue.
Right then, up you get. On your feet. This has got blood in it. It's going to have to go in the back of that van. I ain't got a cell, but we'll sit him on it, sit him in the back.
That was my first bit of confrontation I'd had to deal with. If maybe the night before somebody had told me you're going to have to go to an assistance call tomorrow where an officer's struggling and it's kicking off in the pub, I probably would have worried myself sick thinking about it.
It's going to have to go around this side, guys, because there's no cell in it.
It's funny, adrenaline just kicks in, and I went in, got stuck in, didn't fear, wasn't scared, dealt with it, and it was only afterwards I thought, wow, we did it, and didn't even think about it.
I couldn't see anything, because people everywhere. I go to the bar staff, where are they? And he was like, they're down there.
Back at the station, everyone's relieved that Ellie wasn't hurt.
He was nearly at the door, but we positioned ourselves so we couldn't get out the door, so we decided to run through the people.
Dan's face was like, thank God you're here, mate. Thank God.
It's quite reassuring when you get there, you see everybody rocking up, everyone drops what they're doing and just gets there, which reassures me a bit, knowing when I'm going to press mine, or if, hopefully I never have to, but if I press mine, that they'll all come running.
It's New Year's Day. After working until 7 a.m, he's finally getting to spend some time with his husband, Danny.
I haven't had any jobs yet where there's been mentions of knives or anything.
Good.
But it's all right at the minute. It's all right at the minute because Cal's got a taser, so that's not too bad.
We'll get a taser.
Danny also works for the police, but not on the front line. He's an operator in the control room.
When you put that stab vest on, you just get on and do it.
It's like you're playing a part, isn't it? When you get the uniform on, you're not Daniel, you are then PC Hunt.
Thankfully you're here to offload to. It must be difficult when there's officers and they've got nobody at home.
Unlike the newlyweds, Dan Healy faces an empty house to go home to each evening. His family are 3 hours away, and he can barely afford to furnish the place he's renting.
150 quid for that. £169. 1,100 quid. The starting salary is 19,000 a year. It's not a bad pay, you know, but is the starting salary worth it for a probationary officer? And in my opinion, absolutely not. It is low compared to people in other jobs, you know. You get people working in supermarkets or, you know, in some restaurants that earn more than us. You know, they've not got the dangers you've got to face. You could lose your life at the end of the day, you know.
Dan's about to start a late shift in Skegness, which means tonight he'll be working until 4 o'clock in the morning.
My little girls, have a look at them every time you go out to shifts. Go ahead, mate.
Within minutes, Dan and Mick are called to an emergency.
Domestic. She's called it in from the phone box, though.
The call is from a woman who phoned 999 after claiming to be attacked by her partner.
We're not sure what's happened yet. We'll find out when we get there. Yeah, all received.
One of the most rural police stations in Lincolnshire is in Sleaford, where rookie Mark has just been stationed.
No, I grew up in West Bromwich near Birmingham. We were quite a distance away from any kind of greenery. And if you wanted greenery, you'd go to a local park or something. Nothing like this. It was a world away. Absolute world away.
Mark is starting a new career at 46 years old. He's finding being a rookie a bit of a challenge.
Does that go anywhere in particular?
If you go back into custody...
Oh, yeah.
There's some already there, and just fill in that form on the top
That form,
of it.
yeah, that blue...
Yeah, and then I'm presuming somebody will pick it up.
Yeah, cool. It does feel a bit strange being the new boy and the new... because they use that term a lot, a student officer. You think of students as, you know, late teens and early 20s, and yeah, far from that.
And as the rookie, it's his job to make the tea.
Thank you, Mark.
It's a modern form of bullying. I don't want to do it at all. Does this look like the face of a man who likes making tea? Are we ready, Dad? Should we go on holiday? We're there, yeah? Are we there, yeah?
Mark and his partner Mike are in charge of policing an area that's over 200 square miles. They've just received a call about a uniquely rural crime, hare coursing, an illegal sport.
They have greyhounds or lurcher-type dogs, and they chase hares and rabbits across fields. They tend to film it, and they place bets as well over which dog can catch the rabbit the quickest. They end up sort of ripping the rabbit to bits.
Mark and Mike pull over a car that matches the description of the suspected hare coursers. It even has greyhounds inside.
You all right, boys? Static attended vehicle check, please.
Where are you from today? Middlesbrough. Long way to come walking the dogs.
As we pulled over the car, I saw straight away there was 5 quite stocky fellas in there, and there were 3 of us. What's your date of birth?
Don't fucking nothing wrong yet.
It's all right, Scott. It's all right, just got to chill out, fellas. It's all right.
Rural policing is a lot more different from policing in the towns or cities. You know, if your nearest backup's 15, 20 minutes away, it's a long time to be holding on to somebody. Sometimes you do befriend people just to keep them on side.
Brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're obviously the baby brother, aren't you?
No, he's the baby. You're obviously the baby.
You don't want to have to be scrapping with somebody while you're waiting for your backup.
I'm not feeling your arse, mate. I'm just checking your pockets, okay?
They haven't found anything incriminating on the suspects, but their story doesn't quite add up.
We haven't been out the car.
We haven't been out the car.
Right, OK, if you're saying you haven't been out of the car, that's not under caution, all right?
Mark and Mike don't have enough evidence to make an arrest. They have no choice but to let them go.
Thanks for your time, anyway. See you later. Hopefully not. All right, we haven't been caught, so they're all covered in mud, yeah. We haven't even got out of the vehicle, but they're covered in fresh mud, though, aren't they? Yeah.
I think what's the saying? Prove it. Prove I was hair coursing.
"30 miles away in Skegness, Dan and Mick are heading to the house of a couple well known to the police for their violent fights. Rookie Dan Hunt already dealt with Debbie when she hid under her duvet, but this is Dan Healy's first encounter with her.
I want them arrested.
For what?
Well, for what he's done. I've got
What's he done?
evidence.
So you wanting to make a complaint of assault about them?
Yeah.
OK.
Domestic abuse is one of the most difficult cases the rookies will have to deal with. It's often one person's word against another's. Dan needs to get to the bottom of what happened.
At what point did he slap you then? Because you've said he pulled your hair, you called him a dirty fat bastard and you ran down the stairs then.
It was just before
You ran down the stairs he slapped you. So which room was you in when he slapped you? In the kitchen?
Passage is fatal attraction.
Debbie has been known to assault her partner in the past. Because of her allegations, tonight they have no choice but to arrest her partner.
I must arrest you giving evidence. Do you understand that, mate?
What
I say it's just an allegation that you actually slapped Debbie tonight, so...
Take her side all the time. Listen. Allegation from her, right? Yes. You're a liar! You liar! Shh!
I'm single at the minute. An old lady in my life. Apart from the only ladies I need in my life are my two daughters. But I've no love interests at the minute. It's not to say I'm not looking, but I'm taking applications, let's put it that way. Although none have come through the door yet.
What do you think your biggest mistake so far is?
Obviously I've made mistakes, but they're only like little ones. I don't think they've been like terrible. Right, you're frowning, which means I've made some massive ones all the time.
Does that mean it's pick from?
Yeah.
It's been 2 days since Jack stopped and searched a young couple he mistakenly thought were dealing drugs. Now he's coming to the end of another 11-hour shift with his partner, Andy.
Just try not to irritate people. Try not to be yourself and piss everyone off.
Yeah.
Just put on an act.
As long as you're not yourself, Jack, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
After a stressful week, Jack goes to see the one person who understands him best, his mum.
You know something, Jack? Remember that what Andy teaches you and how you are when you go out on the streets is going to reflect back on Andy.
Oh, no, I know it
for
is.
a long time.
Yeah, no, I know it is.
And you won't understand that until you're actually a mentor yourself. And you're mentoring somebody who's stubborn or, you know, thinks theirs is the right way and whatever. And you'll want to strangle them.
When he gave me that feedback about not being proactive enough, it did cut quite deeply because I don't feel at the moment that I've got the knowledge base to make a quick, informed decision, and that makes me more reluctant because I don't want to get it wrong. Right, what's
If he thinks I'm just going to stand there and not let it happen, fucking he's off his head, mate.
Right, just come and stand on the pavement.
Jack has just started his weekend foot patrol of Boston with his partner Andy.
You stop gobbing off at me then. No, you stop gobbing. Don't put your hands out and push me.
Yeah, but not swearing. Stop being abusive.
Being out amongst the public isn't something Jack felt brave enough to do when he was younger.
I remember being absolutely terrified of walking 2 streets away because I used to get bullied.
A dark alley, walk down there on your own on a dark night?
No, definitely not. I'd have people that were following me to my friend's house and they'd egg friends' houses.
Hi, buddy.
Wouldn't dare leave the house, and when I left the house, I'd feel sick, my vision would go.
What's up?
You've got your friends that are going out to parties or to pubs, and that's something that I never had the confidence to do, and I feel that they stole that from me.
He was bullied as a kid, and that is awful as a parent. That is awful, because you want to go out and you want to kill those kids. Jack had a real problem. Don't wish that on anybody. Don't wish that on anybody.
Hello. You all right?
Okay, what's happened to you?
Have you had too much to drink, or have you had something else?
I ended up having to get the police involved, and that's when it stopped. And that was the first time, really, that made me think I'd quite like to join the police, because they've made a real difference to my life.
Can you stand?
And I've found, since being out there, that there's many people that can't look after themselves, and they need me. I've got to help them.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. OK, thank you.
It's not walking too bad now, is he?
Not too bad. I've walked worse than that.
He's not hit either of the walls.
No.
Today, Julia has the day off. She's heading down to London to see her son, James.
I was never at home when he was growing up, because I was still driving lorries. I used to be away all week, and I'd get home and David would sort of say to me, oh, he's done this week, and he's done that. And you'd sort of be going, oh, come on, boy, just go and do it for me while I'm here. So there was a heck of a lot I missed out on with him growing up. Hello, babe.
Sorry, I've sat everybody down.
You're all right?
Yeah, you okay?
I'm all right.
Oh, sorry.
Can I have a hug?
6 months ago, her 22-year-old son followed in his mum's footsteps. James has just been accepted into the Metropolitan Police.
This is where I go, is your tie straight?
Yeah, well, yours isn't, so...
Isn't it? Oh, well, you sort me out and I'll sort it. Buddy up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Both of us at the same time in training and everything else. It's quite surreal. We never thought that would ever happen.
When Julia was sworn into the Lincolnshire Police, there were just 24 new officers. But today the Met have nearly 300 rookies passing out.
Commissioner turns around and says, oh yeah, we've got 32 boroughs and 32,000 police officers. That's quite staggering, really, when you sort of come down from about 1,100.
Julia might be a police officer, but it doesn't stop her worrying about what James will face on the job.
Well, I'll always worry about him. As I say to him, look after yourself. He'll always be my little baby, even when he's 70 years of age. That's 2 of us now. Really chuffed for him. Not emotional in any way, shape or form. As long as he's doing something that he enjoys doing, that's the main thing. And if he's enjoying it as much as I am, then, yeah, he'll be having a bit of fun, I think. Come here, my baby.
I'm not as worried as perhaps you think about Mum going out, because I know that she can handle herself. She's a tough cookie. I think she understands the nature of it.
Julia may be tough, but she's about to really be put to the test.
Yep.
Back on shift, they have a lead on the heroin user that attacked his friend. They're heading off to track him down, and Pete isn't taking any chances. He's bringing his taser.
Control 1-2 Lima.
In Boston, Julia and Pete are looking for a heroin user accused of assault.
Just for your info, in case we shout up, we're just doing an arrest attempt.
Can't get in because of the settee. Go around the back?
They have 2 addresses to search. Unsure of how dangerous the suspect might be, Pete has his taser at the ready.
I feel pushing Julia now into more complex and confrontational situations is going to be good for her.
Metal bar.
Those situations where people may want to fight with us or may have weapons, is helping her gain that confidence.
Upstairs. I'll let you go as you've got the taser.
Hello, please.
No, not behind there, no. He's not here. No.
With the first house empty, the second address they need to search is the home of a neighbour.
It's the police.
I've had an allegation of assault, so I'm arresting you on suspicion of actual bodily harm. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court.
Julia finally gets her man.
I've one under arrest. If you could inform custody, please. I'm getting used to this arresting lark, I think.
"20 miles away in Skegness, Dan and Carl are answering an emergency call from a woman who's just been in a fight with her boyfriend. It's another of Carl's regulars.
I know him.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah, we were there a few weeks ago, actually, for another domestic.
It's not long until Dan starts policing on his own. It's important for him to take the lead on more complex jobs like this one.
He bit my face here and pushed me onto the settee, so I bit his arm. He's got a big mark on his arm where I bit him. And then I threw my Lamborghini bottle at him, which is all over that wall, as you can see.
We obviously need to know how far you want this to go and what you want to do about it.
I don't want to feel like I've wasted your time, but I don't want him to get too much trouble. Because I hate his guts, but I love him so much.
But he still
That's
can't
the
do
hardest
what
thing.
he's done
I
to
know,
you.
I know.
I thought, yeah, I'm prepared for everything. Yeah, I'll be all right with this job, but I've not had to deal with many women that are sobbing and that are upset. What do you say?
I mean, he's such a good lad when he's not drunk. He's so nice, so caring about everybody else. It's just when he loses his temper. And we've been trying to get counselling for, 5 months now, and we've not got nowhere with that.
Dan soon realises there's more to her situation than he first thought.
There was like a wall unit, and it was a bit of a shrine to a baby, so I had a bit of an inkling when we went in because I saw it straight away. And she'd recently lost a baby.
I know he's grieving because he...
Yeah, you're still grieving.
But he's grieving worse than me because when it happened, it was me what were getting all the support, and he was supporting me. So we never got to grieve properly. And now I think it's catching up on him, and I think that's why he's losing his temper even more.
We'll have to ask you some questions anyway, domestic abuse questions, like...
I know, obviously, it's the sad news what happened, but is there any other children?
No.
I do not know these questions off the top of my head, so we get given an aid memoir. So for me, it's even more awkward because I'm sat there reading it, and questions like that, you want it to be really natural, and for the information just to come out in conversation, and not just be so blunt as if to say, right, question number 3, this. Do you feel isolated from friends or family?
I just don't like going out. If people come to see me, they have to come here. So ever since I lost Bobby,
Yeah. So you've been feeling depressed?
Oh, God, yes.
What the plan is obviously we need to speak to him about it. He's been quite amicable with me on the phone. I'm going to try and get...
What does amicable mean? That means good.
Good, yeah.
Carl knows the family, has a good rapport with them, and I just can't wait till I'm at that stage where I've been doing it a while and I know what I'm doing and I feel comfortable and I know people. I just think it'll make it a whole lot easier.
Just see who that is there.
Hello mate, you alright?
Hello mate, how you doing?
You look like you've been running.
Yeah, I've just been jogging, mate. I'm supposed to be exercising, but it's not going very well.
I don't envy you, but good luck anyway. Cheers.
Jogging from the house is just burgled.
Yeah, probably.
Dan and Mick are waiting for their first call of the night.
What was you like at school then?
Not proud to say, but you know, I never really went to school towards the latter years. I got excluded just before my GCSEs just because I never went. I decided to work instead. I totally regret that now.
Is this it now? Is this your dream job?
This is all I've ever wanted to do as a job. After leaving school with no qualifications, because not everyone can say they've got the dream job.
You see...
to nearest mobile. Control from Echo Foxtrot 50. We got a call that a male had just been hit round the head with a hammer.
A hammer attack is the most severe incident that Dan has been called to so far. They're first on the scene.
There was blood all over the floor, but it was still alive, which was a positive.
Despite being whacked on the head, miraculously the victim is still walking and talking.
How many times hit you with a hammer?
I don't know.
Right.
First weapons now, isn't it? And I was screaming.
She's arrested now. She's in custody. So all we need to do is get you better, get you squared away, and we'll get a statement from you as soon as we can, all right?
Now their job is to gather as much evidence as possible before the detectives arrive.
Right, pictures.
I know, but it's for evidence, mate.
Well, you're not
Look at me.
Facebook here.
No.
Dan, just take a picture, this half, then do exactly the same there.
Mick wants Dan to take control of the crime scene, something he's never done before.
Right, description of him, description of what you've seen on the floor, quick description of the room and his two houses and the alleyway, quick as possible, mate.
I would just start it off.
Just whatever, arrived at scene.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that all right like that? That's the first time I've ever done that.
Don't worry about it, mate, honestly. Hello, Sarge.
As Dan left school when he was 15, paperwork is one of his biggest challenges.
I need to put what time we got here, don't I? Well,
Doesn't matter.
Does it matter?
As long as it's something.
My English grammar wasn't the best, and it's still not to this day, and that's something I'm working on. So far, I mean, it's probably not the best.
Arrived at scene and answered with a group badge.
Certainly scary. You're thinking, oh my God, there will be very experienced detectives are going to be involved in this.
If it helps, like I say, you can draw bird's eye view, front door. Doesn't have to be neat, it's just a scene and it's just...
I need to make sure I'm doing it right, because any cock-up could effectively hinder the investigation. I've filled this out best I can so far. It's the first time I've ever done one of these.
Yeah, it's all right, don't worry.
After half an hour, the detectives arrive to take over the crime scene. Dan has to hand over his report.
Time is 22 minutes past 8.
You're doing a really good job, mate.
When we sitting?
Have you got everything you need? Dan's had a bit of a baptism of fire tonight. I've given him a very, very quick brief and chucked information at him. He's taken it all on and he's done what he needed to do.
But I did see her walking off in that direction.
I think it shows how much he's developed, to be honest, and how much I feel that he can and what he can do and my confidence in him.
What's your name? Dan Healy. You all right?
I like to think I handled that job well. As far as I'm aware, there was no cock-ups. I joined the job because I wanted to stand up for what's right and what's wrong and to help let my children grow up in a safe environment. I mean, I know I'm not a one-man band, I'm not Superman, I can't change the world all on my own, but I can certainly help.
Police officers now, we're not just out to catch bad guys. We're the social worker, we're the paramedic, we're everything really, as much as we can be.
Seeing how some people live, it's made me realise I have actually lived a pretty sheltered life. And I thought I'd had a bit of life experience. Clearly not.